Well, what's up, YouTube? This is Michael again. I was starting to make a video and I kind of made a mistake there. I didn't want to edit it because I don't really like editing my videos. So anyways, I had to kind of start it over again. So anyways, welcome to my channel. This is my second longer video for today. It won't be too long. I'll try not to make it anyways. If this is your first time here at my channel, man, welcome. I want to thank you. My name, like I said, my name is Michael. And if you're coming back, thank you so much for coming back to my video. I've been making these shorts in the morning. I go outside, drink my coffee, and the sun comes up. I kind of make my shorts, man. You guys really like those shorts. I'm really doing good, man, on my shorts. I got two different channels. I got Live.RICH Cambodia, and I got like 7,000 something views, but I only got like 14 subscribers. And on this one, I got, which is Goodbye USA, I got like, I don't know, maybe 3,000 or 4,000 views and only 8 subscribers, but it's okay, man. Like I said, I'm doing it to help everyone out over there. Just real quick before I get going anymore, okay. I want you guys to use your finger. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be this finger. It can be the bad finger if you want it to be. It's up to you guys, man. I'm going to let you guys decide on now. Anyways, but if you guys could push that subscribe button, man, it'd make me so happy. Because I only got like 8 subscribers, but I'd like to have more. I'd like to have at least 20 on each channel. But I know I look at a lot of videos, and I don't really, a lot of them I don't subscribe to. I just look at their videos. Some of them I do. But anyways, if you guys would just subscribe, even if you don't want to look at my videos, it's okay, man. But either which way, I'm glad to have you here, and I want to thank you guys for any support you can give me. Went to the gym this morning, came back. I did a couple videos, one for this channel, one for the other one. Came back from the gym, and I did them before I even took a shower. But you guys could only see my face; you couldn't smell me, so I figured it was okay. This video I'm going to talk about today is purely and 100% for educational purposes only. I am not telling you guys to do this. Maybe you're writing a book. I looked it up on ChatGPT and I looked it up on the internet. And I figured it'd be some good time to give you guys some good information that you might need in the future. I don't know when you might need it, but I see these videos a lot where these people, man, they're so deep in credit card debt, they can just pay the minimums. I don't see them climbing out that hole. I just don't see it with all the layoffs and everything going on in the USA. People get laid off right and left. People getting their cars repoed, and they think, well, they just got the car repoed. But let's say you owe $18,000 on that car, man. They send that thing through the auction, and they're only going to get $5 grand. They're going to come after you for the remainder of that money, man. Plus the interest and the penalty, just all kind of stuff. Same thing with a mortgage, man. If they got to end up repoing your house, they send that thing to the auction. Whatever difference is, they're going to come after you for that. They're going to garnish your wages, and they're pretty good at doing that. They're going to track you down with your social security number. Pretty hard to run from that stuff, man. I've never done it, but I know some people that have tried to, and it's just come back. Like I said, if you can dodge them, I think for 7 or 8 years, man, you can. Then they kind of wipe it off the books. But if you file for bankruptcy, that stuff stays on your record pretty much forever. I don't know, for a long time. I know that. But over here in this where I live at in Cambodia, in this third world country, there's not a whole lot of smart people. I'm just telling you the way it is. They're nice, but they're just not really too smart. Their education system is 122nd, I believe, in the world, 139th poorest country in the world. I think the average pay is around $200 a month. They rank at the bottom of just about every list. And I worked with teachers who got a 2-year degree. I believe in the USA they call that community college or junior college. Anyways, and I've had conversations with them about things they should know about after, especially going to high school for 12 years, or going to school for 12 years, then going to university for 2 years. They don't know the names like William Shakespeare. They don't know who Isaac Newton is, or Albert Einstein, or anybody like John Carpenter, or just really like anybody that has anything to do with anything outside of Cambodia. So this place needs, and you can go online and look. But before you go online and look, I want you to do something if you got time. I want you to go look and see how much you can rent an absolutely beautiful 4 or 5 star apartment or condo in the city for, I'm going to say, anywhere from $700 to $1,000 a month. I mean, you spend $1,000 a month for a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment, man. They got pools on different levels. Land in Cambodia is really expensive, so they build up, and they got some really tall condos, and you don't have to worry about them falling over and stuff, because I've kind of watched how some of them have been built, and they build them pretty nice. And there's never been an earthquake in Cambodia. They don't have tornadoes or hurricanes, none of that kind of stuff. So, but these companies over here, even though you don't speak the Cambodian language, Khmer, these companies in the city, these big corporate companies in the city, and they do have a lot of them, most of the people in those places speak English. Now, out here where I live at, in the suburbs, around the village, a lot of them can't even read and write their own language. So there are some that can speak some English, but like I said, out here where I live, not a whole lot. But in the city, in these big companies, you guys can go on LinkedIn or any one of these job-looking websites, and you're going to see they need people with some education. They used to call the word moxie. I don't know if you guys know what that means, but anyways, they need some people that really know how to handle the business, right? If you got a 4-year degree in business, you got a 4-year degree in HR or in engineering, any kind of those things. Now, if you got a 4-year degree in pre-Columbian dance or unknown gender studies or one of those kind of things, it's probably not going to help much over here. But you get a 4-year degree, man, you'll be teaching at a university over here. Okay? If you got a teaching degree, I'm pretty sure you can teach at a university over here. And the cost of living is so cheap, they're only going to pay you, when I say only, they're going to pay you about $4,000 or $5,000 a month. And you say, oh my God, I can't make it on that. Well, you can, because it's so cheap to live over here. Okay, like I just told you the price of apartments, condos. You look them up online, man, if you got time. Just look up apartments and condos for rent, or you can buy a condo. You can't buy anything on the ground floor because they don't sell land, the actual land, to any non-citizen. But you can buy a condo because you're not buying the land, you're buying the condo, anyways. And you don't need to have a car over here. If you live in the city, I live in the suburbs, so I got a car. But if I didn't have a wife and daughter, I'd have a condo or apartment, man. It's in the city. I'd get one up on at least 8th, 10th floor or something like that. I don't want to hear the noise from the street, and you're far enough up. You're not going to hear nothing off the street. But they got underground parking, and they got security, and they got beautiful pools and gyms. I've been in some of them. I'll take some videos one day, but they got some just beautiful, like I said, 4 or 5 star apartment condos, man, for maybe $1,000 a month. Okay. You don't even, like I said, you don't even need to have a car over here. If you live in the city, they got these little carts they go around in. They're called pass apps. I'm sure if you looked at any of my videos, you've seen them. And it's kind of like an Uber thing. It's an app on your phone, man. You push it, you put in, and within 3 or 4 minutes, you're going to have one right there sitting in front of you. And then even if the person doesn't speak English, you got translate on your phone, or you can just push in the where you want to go, and he can follow the directions. So really, you don't even really need to have a car over here. And I don't know anybody that has any insurance over here whatsoever. Okay, I have no homeowner's insurance. My house is made out of cement, blocks, brick, steel. Nothing going to burn. And the only thing that's wood is the cabinets I had made. The The banister and the doors, they're wood, and this drywall stuff that they put up over here for the decor, man. But that's it. I don't have no homeowners insurance here. We got a cement slab for a roof, and like I said, Cambodia doesn't have any tornadoes or earthquakes. They never had none, so I have no car insurance. They don't require car insurance over here, so I don't even know anybody that has any of that. And I have no medical insurance. I've had two major surgeries over here. I had one, I had my hip replaced, and then the other one I had my knee. And the doctor I went to, he's trained in he went to university in Paris, so he speaks French, English, Khmer. I think he speaks Thai too. Anyways, really good surgeon. But the doctors over here are really cheap. I mean, you're probably pay less for a doctor here than you would for one of those co-pays you got in the USA. Okay, and you just go to the pharmacy and tell them what you want, man. You go to the pharmacy, you get sick, you go there and just tell them what you want, and they just give it to you. There's no prescription needed in any pharmacy over here. So, like I said, cheap. They cannot come over here and garnish your wages. Okay, they cannot. Okay, the only possible way they could do that is if you work for a U.S. company, a company that's based out of the United States, and they happen to have an office over here in Cambodia, which I don't know of any, and they might have them, I just don't know about them. But okay, now like I said, I'm going to tell you something, and this is purely for educational purposes only, for your knowledge. I looked it up on ChatGPT, and I looked it up on the internet. There is no way for them to collect those student loans over here. There's no way. Okay. They don't have any wage garnishments over here. They don't do that. Like I said, the only way they could possibly do it is if you worked for a company that was headquartered out of the United States and they had an office over here and you work for them. But you guys that got these degrees, man, you could get a job so easy. Like I said, making $4,000 or $5,000 a month. And that sounds like not a lot of money, but over here, man, these people make the average salary is barely $200 a month. Okay, these people live in absolute poverty. It's 139th poorest country, 122nd, I believe, something like that in the education thing. They just live in absolute poverty. So you make $4,000 or $5,000 a month, and you're going to be just living just fine. And like I said, they can't come over here and get that money from you. Okay, and you live over here. You're kind of in the central part of Asia. You're gonna you're only a few hour flight from Japan and from Korea. You can go to Bali, Indonesia. That's really close. And Thailand's on one side and Vietnam's on the other. There's just a lot. There's just you're kind of in the middle of everything. And New Zealand's pretty close. Like I said, just all kind of cool things to see, and you guys can start yourself a new life, especially if you're, especially if you're a single person. I can understand if you got a wife and 3 or 4 or 5 kids, and difficult for you moving across the USA, let alone the other side of the world. But if you're a single person, man, and you're struggling, don't wait till you run out of money and then try to figure out what you're going to do, man. I got a Gmail address. It's I'll give it to you. It's in the description, but I'll give it to you anyways. It's live, L-I-V-E, .rich, R-I-C-H, .cambodia @gmail.com. You shoot me an email, man, and I'll answer any questions you got. Leave a comment in the comment section. You got to have a business visa to work over here, and I think it's about $350 a year. And you have to have a work card over here. It's like, I just handed mine in because it expires on December, on the end of December, and it was $295. So you're not looking at like a whole lot of money, but these companies would climb over each other, try to get to you, man. If you're, like I said, if you're educated with a 4-year degree in the USA, man, that's just like you got a golden ticket over here. And you tell those companies, man, you got the upper hand, man. They have no power with that. You can go to another company and just find work, and you tell them, listen, I come to work for you, man. I want reimbursed for my visa and my work card. And like I said, especially if you're a single person, man, or you just, like an older couple like me, and you're in your 50s or 60s or something, man. You got an engineering degree, man. You come over here, you got it made, man. Most of the people working those big offices, they can speak English. Out here in the villages, it's not really that common. But and for you single guys, they got just so many beautiful young Asian women over here that just live in absolute poverty, man. They would just love him. Now, for you ladies, I'm going to let you guys decide. But for me, this is my opinion only. This is only my opinion. For me, the Cambodian men are so lazy. They're some of the most lazy people I've ever seen in my life. But that's just me. And you might find one that's not. And you might find one that you just fall in love with, man. I don't know. I'll let you decide that one. But like I said, for educational purposes only, they cannot garnish your wages. They cannot do anything for those student loans or any other kind of debt. They don't have a garnishment system over here. You come over here and you're making $40,000-$50,000 a year. Oh man, you're just going to be people gonna think you're like related to the king or something. And even if you file your taxes, which I do every year, I use TurboTax because it's free and I can just do it online. And I just use the minimum, whatever the deductions are, and you can do that. And even if you got to pay a little bit of tax on that $40,000 or $50,000, they don't have income tax over here. They don't have any Social Security, none of that withholding stuff and all that crap, But even if you got to pay a little bit of tax, man, a single person or a couple come over here, man, you're making $40,000, $50,000. It's not going to be that much. You're not going to have to pay that much in tax. So anyways, just keep that in mind. Like I said, everything I told you is for educational purposes only, in case you're writing like a book or something, and you needed to know something about that. So thank you guys so much for watching my video, man. I appreciate it. And all of you take care. And if you do have any questions, leave any questions in the comment, man. Any questions. I look at the comments and I look at my Gmail every day. Not a whole lot of people asking any questions, but if I can do anything to help you, man, you just give me a holler, okay? I want to thank you guys so much, and you have a good Black Friday. And I'll see you in the morning when I'm drinking my coffee from my sunrise shorts. Thank you guys very much. And don't forget that finger. That finger can hit that subscribe button right now as we're speaking. All right, man. If you doesn't want to hit it, it's okay, man. It's still cool. I still love you guys, man. All right, bye.